Welcome to Behind the Veil. I'll provide a detailed narrative of John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, integrating his psychological profile, the forensic evidence central to his case, and the investigative processes that led to his capture. This account will emphasize the outspoken notoriety and gruesome nature of his crimes, while exploring how his public persona contrasted with his monstrous acts and how forensic science unraveled his killing spree. Hi guys, a quick question. Please help me out and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And the best of all, it's free. Enjoy the video. The story of John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, background and psychological profile. John Wayne Gacy, born in 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, was a charismatic businessman, Democratic precinct captain, and part-time clown who performed at community events. To the public, he was a pillar of suburban Norwood Park, gregarious, hard-working and generous. However, as a forensic psychologist, I diagnosed Gacy with antisocial personality disorder and sexual sadism disorder, marked by a lack of empathy, manipulative charm, and gratification from dominating and harming others. His childhood was marred by an abusive alcoholic father, which likely contributed to deep-seated rage and identity conflicts, particularly around his repressed homosexuality. Gacy's clown persona, Pogo, was a psychological mask, allowing him to project innocence while indulging his sadistic fantasies. His need for control and power over vulnerable victims, mostly young men and boys, drove his crimes, with his public image serving as a perfect cover. The crimes, 1972 and 1978. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy murdered at least 33 young men and boys aged 14 to 21 in Cook County, Illinois. He lured victims to his home at 8213 West Summerdale Avenue under pretexts like job offers through his construction business or promises of money for sex. Once there, he incapacitated them with alcohol, drugs, or a handcuff trick, then sexually assaulted, tortured, and strangled them, typically with a rope tourniquet, his rope trick. Forensic evidence later showed consistent ligature marks and signs of prolonged strangulation, indicating sadistic pleasure in extending victims' suffering. Gacy buried 29 bodies in the crawl space under his house, 3 in other parts of his property, and dumped 4 in the Des Plaines River when space ran out. His first known victim, Timothy McCoy, 1972, was killed after a sexual encounter, setting the pattern for his methodical predatory behavior. Key victims included John Butkovich, 1975, Darrell Sampson, 1976, and Robert Peast, 1978, whose disappearance triggered Gacy's downfall. Gruesome aspects and forensic analysis. The gruesome nature of Gacy's crimes lies in their scale, brutality, and disposal methods. The crawl space, a damp 4-foot cavity under his home, contained 29 bodies in various states of decomposition, some stacked atop each other, creating a macabre mass grave. Forensic scientists faced a horrific scene. Skeletal remains, mummified tissue, and adipocia, a waxy byproduct of decay, complicated identification. The stench of decay, noted by neighbors, was a key clue ignored until late in the investigation. Autopsies revealed strangulation as the primary cause of death, with ligature marks and rope fibers embedded in neck tissue. Some victims showed signs of sexual assault, with trauma to the anal and genital areas, and others had been stabbed or beaten, indicating escalating violence. Gacy's souvenirs, clothing or personal items, aligned with his need to possess his victims, a common trait in serial killers. Soil samples, insect activity, forensic entomology, and dental records were critical in identifying remains, as DNA technology was not yet available in the 1970s. Notoriety and public persona. Gacy's case was outspoken due to the stark contrast between his public image and his crimes. As a respected community figure who entertained as a clown at children's parties and fundraisers, his 1978 arrest shocked Chicago and the nation. Media coverage exploded, with outlets like the Chicago Tribune detailing the gruesome discoveries. Gacy's taunting demeanor during his 1980 trial, where he downplayed his actions and claimed some victims wanted it, fueled public outrage. His clown persona became a cultural symbol of hidden evil, inspiring horror tropes, e.g. Pennywise in Stephen King's It. The scale of his crimes, 33 confirmed victims, one of the highest body counts in U.S. history at the time, cemented his infamy. Investigation and capture, 1978. The investigation pivoted on Robert Peast, a 15-year-old who vanished in December 1978 after meeting Gacy about a job. Peast's mother reported him missing, and police linked Gacy to the disappearance through witnesses' accounts. Prior convictions for sodomy, 1968 Iowa, and assault raised suspicions, but Gacy's charm had deflected scrutiny. A search warrant for his home revealed incriminating items, a class ring, driver's licenses, and a receipt linking Gacy to Peast. The crawl space search, prompted by the unmistakable odor of decay, uncovered the mass grave. Forensic scientists use dental records and skeletal analysis to identify victims, a painstaking process given the decomposition. Gacy confessed on December 22, 1978, detailing his methods and leading police to river dump sites. His confession, analyzed by forensic psychologists, revealed a mix of grandiosity and detachment, with Gacy claiming a split personality, Jack did the killings, to evade responsibility, a tactic inconsistent with his organized behavior. Forensic and psychological insights. As a forensic scientist, the Gacy case highlights the challenges of pre-DNA forensics. Identification relied on dental records, clothing, and personal effects, with X-rays confirming victim identities in 23 of 33 cases. 6 remain unidentified. Soil and chemical analysis of the crawl space revealed lime used to hasten decomposition, a calculated attempt to cover his tracks. Psychologically, Gacy's profile aligns with an organized power control killer. His ability to compartmentalize, living as a family man while killing, reflects psychopathic traits. His sexual sadism, targeting young males, likely stemmed from internalized shame over his sexuality, projected onto victims who represented vulnerability. The clown persona was both a disguise and a psychological outlet, allowing him to perform innocence while indulging his dark impulses. Wyatt Fitz outspoken and gruesome. Gacy's case was outspoken due to the media frenzy surrounding his arrest, trial, and 1994 execution by lethal injection, which drew global attention. The contrast between his jovial public role and the horror of his crimes amplified public fascination. The gruesome aspect lies in the sheer number of victims, the crawl space's nightmarish conditions, and the sadistic nature of his assaults and murders. While gruesome may imply escalation, Gacy's crimes grew in number and audacity as he continued killing despite police scrutiny in 1978, reflecting a compulsive drive. Legacy and impact. Gacy's conviction, 1980, 21 life sentences and 12 death sentences, and execution, 1994, closed a dark chapter, but his case reshaped forensic science and profiling. It spurred advancements in victim identification and mass grave analysis, influencing later DNA-based investigations. Psychologically, it underscored the danger of charismatic predators hiding in plain sight. Public fascination persists, as seen in discussions and media like Conversations with a Killer, the John Wayne Gacy tapes, Netflix. The case remains a stark reminder of how normalcy can mask depravity. Until the next time, thank you for watching, and please help us grow, subscribe, like, and share this video.